Have you ever met someone who navigates problems easily, who has a knack for getting people on their side? Have you ever wanted to know how to do that yourself? Welcome back to BrainFishing. Gary Furlong here. I'm a full-time mediator and negotiator, and this is the fourth video in our BrainFishing series. In video number 1, How Can I Work with Difficult People?, we explained how our red and blue brains work. In video 2, we learned how to engage the blue brain by shifting from telling to asking questions. In video 3, we looked at the most effective types of questions we can ask. These first 3 videos are the foundation for building strong and effective relationships. In this video, we'll look at a handful of simple changes to our language and behavior that can magnify this effectiveness tenfold. A quick review of our red and blue brains. Our red brain is there only to protect us. It identifies threats, then it jumps in to defend, argue, deflect, or avoid. Our blue brain gives us rational analytical thinking and creative problem solving. It's from our blue brain that we build relationships. Telling triggers the defensive red brain. Questions engage our blue brain. So in addition to asking good questions, how can we connect with people almost instantly? How do we make people want to work with us? To build rapport quickly and nurture trust, try this suite of 5 skills directly from the BrainFishing tackle box. Skill number 1, acknowledge and empathize. We all want to feel respected and to know we've been listened to and heard. We also want to feel that elusive thing we call empathy. To build respect into a relationship almost instantly, start with an acknowledgement. Immediately. Whatever the other person says, acknowledge it before saying anything else. There are 2 ways to do this. First, just listen. Let them talk, finish their thought. Then take 5 seconds or less to summarize what they've said so they know they've been heard. Tell them what you heard and ask if you got it, like this. Sam, what you're saying is XYZ, right? Or, Mary, what I heard was A, B, and C. Is that it? Then to really ice the cake, affirm it with an acknowledging and empathy statement. Something like, okay, that's important. Or, we have to address that issue, right? Notice this is acknowledgement, not agreement. Acknowledging someone cuts to the heart of human relationships. When someone feels acknowledged and know they've been heard, they experience what we call empathy. But remember, empathy must be genuine. Empathy, when it's real, creates goodwill almost instantly. Summarize or paraphrase, then acknowledge. It's a game changer. Skill number 2, ask permission. Here at BrainFishing, we've said this many times. Stop telling, ask questions. But remember, telling isn't evil and it isn't all bad. It's simply ineffective most of the time, but not always. There are times, of course, we have to tell to give someone important information. The question is, how do we do this so they'll actually hear it? The best way to be effective at telling is to simply ask permission first. That's right, ask permission. So what happens when we ask permission instead of just plowing ahead and telling? We demonstrate respect, a critical type of acknowledgement. And when they give us permission to talk, which they almost always do, they'll actually listen. Try this. I'd like to review the legal concerns we have in this case. Is now a good time? Or, can I explain our reasons for making this decision? Would that help? Note that permission questions are closed questions with only 2 possible answers, yes or no. In this case, that's good, because if they say yes, they've granted us permission to talk, so they'll be all ears. If they say no, however, they weren't going to listen to us anyway, so telling anything would be a colossal waste of time. We end up better off either way. Permission questions quickly pave the way to smoother communications. Finally, when telling, remember this. Keep it short and re-engage them with questions regularly. Cover one topic in 3 or 4 sentences and then ask, what do you think? Any questions? Or even better, what do you think about this idea? Then continue, same pattern. Another topic, then a question or 2. You'll maximize what they hear and you'll maximize their thinking, their time spent in Blue Brain. Skill number 3, stop shooting yourself in the foot. This strategy is a simple and critical change in the language we use. Get rid of 2 words from your vocabulary, but and however. These 2 little words are like a high-pitched dog whistle for the red brain. Why? But and however are negators. They cancel and then reverse whatever was just said, like this. Gary, you're one of the nicest guys I've ever met, but I heard you laugh. Because your brain hears, but you're not. But you're actually a bit of a jerk. Or this, Gary, you make an important point, but our brain hears, but you're wrong. But you're crazy if you think that. Almost any use of but and however will jumpstart the red brain and knock you back 3 steps. So here's the fix. Replace both words with the magical little word and. As in, Gary, you make an important point, and I think it raises some other issues. Can we talk about those? Notice, this now becomes an acknowledgement and a permission question instead of a debate or an argument. This is powerful blue brain stuff. Skill number 4, get better information. There's one word that deepens the thinking and gets better information when we insert it into our questions. Sometimes we ask a good open question like this. What was the problem with how the meeting was run? And we get this answer, everything. Not very useful. We should simply ask the same question again, but insert another magic word specifically into the question, like this. What specifically was the problem with how the meeting was run? This now compels the other person to go deeper, to clarify their thinking and engage their blue brain. You'll get a whole new layer of information. And it demonstrates you really want to hear more of what they have to say, another form of acknowledgement. And finally, skill number 5, ask what-if questions. The most effective type of question for both problem solving and reality changing is the what-if question. Here are a few examples. What if we ask the marketing team for their input on this? How might that help? What would happen if we gave their idea a try? What would we risk? If we lose that argument in court, how much more would we have to pay to settle than here today? And even if we win, how much will our legal fees still end up costing us? Each one of these questions poses a hypothetical situation, then asks a second question that compels everyone to consider it, think about it, and respond to it. These questions focus and direct everyone's thinking by starting with this simple idea of what if. What if questions work? Because hypothetical situations are far less threatening than actual ones. We can delve into risky situations with less fear, since they're only imagined, not actual. They also help us create more options for us to consider, which blue brains love. We get this good blue brain thinking from everyone without triggering the red brain. All 5 of the tools in this video complement and support the foundational idea of brain fishing. Calm the red brain and engage the blue brain. When we shift to questions, they shift to thinking and engaging. Acknowledging and empathy statements, permission questions, magic words like and specifically, and what if questions help us build rapport, build trust, and keep everyone in their blue brain right from the start. So ask yourself this: what do you think might happen if you gave some or all of these approaches a try? What if? We hope you've enjoyed these videos and, more importantly, found them valuable. And the real value will come when you try them out, apply them, actually use them every day. We think you'll find brain fishing makes relationships of any kind not only easier, less stressful, and more effective, but a heck of a lot more fun too. Give brain fishing a try. We think you'll love it. This brain fishing series focuses on the skills, tools, and mindset for solving problems and building effective relationships in many different settings. Subscribe to the YouTube Brain Fishing channel to see all the videos. If you'd like to learn more about how brain fishing can help you or your organization, visit us at brainfishing.ca for more. Much more. Happy brain fishing.